Your boy with Sue. Look, I want to talk about that Ohio shooting that went down the other day. These are my thoughts about it. I mean, that's my thinking about it right now. That was this kid. He was like, what, 16, 17. He went into the, y'all know what went down. The kid went into school, in the cafeteria, started shooting everybody. And it was a tragedy. But even more of a tragedy is that, people put so much blame. It's like, why? I don't know. Try to get help. Nobody is lit. Well, no point is when nobody's lit. We're not listening to each other. We're not listening to each other, and we're having all these problems. We're doing more harassing each other, and nobody's listening to each other. So what do you expect? It's like that Columbine thing back in '99. Nobody's listening. People snap. I think we should control our emotions, but sometimes that stuff get too much, man, and we're not listening to each other. We're doing more blaming. We really need somebody to talk to, and then we just shun them away and make fun of them. No, you get it. You get it. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? We do more shunning than talking. And that's why people go. That's why people feel abandoned. They feel corrupt. I mean, they feel something wrong with them. All that boy probably, probably being picked and harassed at school. What do you expect somebody to do if they've been picked on and harassed? I mean, it's even worse when the people who are just belligerent and brutal and hateful towards you, and they turn around and want to be your buddy. After all that time they fucked with you, after all that time they harassed you, they're like, "Are you serious? All that shit talking you did, talking about you helping me? I mean, come on." All I'm saying is, we're not listening to each other. We're doing more bullying. We're harassing each other more. People interpret people interpret that shit as being off. What's that? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna have a racist chief. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a video about that racist ass chief of mine later on. You heard me? The senior chief Russell Hodges. You racist fuck. See, he had that dark man syndrome. This is the example I'm talking about. He was more of a bully than the chief. All he did was harass people. All he did was harass people. He harassed me the most because I was light skinned. I probably said that in many videos. I'm about to really make a video about that nigga. Call that nigga out. But anyway, we do more picking, and that's why I learned with all that. It's just I'm better off to keep it to myself. Even that, and that really ain't enough because people still want to provoke you and harass you. It ain't just black folks that's just built with that bitterness. It was anybody. It was a poor kid who was probably teased and harassed. And ain't always these kids listening to golf. It's just regular kids. Ain't with all these goth stuff. It's just regular kids. It's a regular kid. And about golf, it's just a style. I tell you, it's just a style. You can be real good hearted to the core and be a dressed golf. And I ain't talking about all that. Scrap all that. The point is he was a kid and he was just going through some stuff. Looking at the time. 5 minutes. And is we're just so mean and hateful towards each other nowadays. We think that stuff cool. Women got more feminist. Women got more uptight. Women more focused on their careers, and they still uptight. They don't want to admit that. I'm hurting it. I hurt from time to time myself. By the way, happy February 29th, 2012. Everybody, I just want to throw that out. It's February 29th. February 29th. How about that? But anyway, this went down back a couple of days ago. And then we're not listening to each other. We're not listening to each other. I said this over and over again in this video. We're not. We just bite ourselves, and then we carry that selfishness on each other. I'm guilty of it. We've all been guilty of it. We carry that selfishness on each other. We carry that narcissism on each other. We've all been guilty of it. I've really been guilty of it. Okay, and I'm just like, well, why even bother? With all the stuff going on, self-preservation is probably our only option. I know most people don't want to be go the self-preservation route, but it's our only option. It's all we have. Because ain't nobody, the government can't do for us. We got to do for ourselves. We can't get a job and government don't do for us. I'm about to go down that route myself. I'm not too careful. But I learned in life, I'm going to get picked on and harassed. And once people accept that, then life will get better. People blame too much. They put too much blame on everything. And you wonder why people snap. Like they're working in Hartford a few years ago. Just snap. People snap, man. And it wind up tragic. You know, and thank goodness that gym teacher drove that boy out. Cause it's been crazy. There's some kids that died, man. It's sad. We're just not. You know, and what's even the trip is all these experts point out the obvious. Oh, we need to listen to each. I'm saying the same shit. We are not listening to each other. Oh no, the experts. Oh, get a counselor. Get a counselor. Somebody listen to. You know what? It's sad that these people that all they do is talk about. That's all they do is talk it. Get a counselor. This is the point out the obvious. Okay, we know to get a counselor. We know to talk to somebody. If say in the scripture, if any two touch and agree, then my presence will be there. One could chase 1,000, but two could chase 10,000 to a flight. And I'm talking about demonic spirits. You hear me? Yeah. You know, sometimes people need that extra help, and we're not getting it. So we like, fuck it, this we gotta do, we gotta do. But it is what it is, man. I'm seeing nowadays self-preservation is the only option. I'm starting to see the bitterness in the South. People more bitter towards each other in the South. Maybe because I'm just me being a nigga, but oh well. We're just not listening to each other now. All I'm saying is that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be gotta have, if self-preservation is the only way, then oh well, it is what it is. But it's sad, it's tragedy that that it went down the way it did, and the kid was probably looking for some attention. He didn't get it, so he resorted to that. That's why he got crap like Criminal Minds. But all this mental anguish goes in. You've been picked on and harassed, so they take it out on the world, and that's not the answer. That's gonna, if anything, that's gonna cause you more problems. I've done, you know what? I'm gonna tell you about my personal life. There've been so many times where I wanted to kill a bunch of people. I'm not gonna do it, but there've been so many times I wanted to do the same thing, but I realized the consequences. I've been picked and harassed on that bad, especially when I was on a boat. I've gotten harassed and teased and picked on at home. My ex used to harass the fuck out of me. She was a racist bigot and she was a black woman. But there's so many instances where I wanted to. But I realized the consequences. I don't want to go down that route. So I just said, you know what? I was gonna try to make the best thing out of that bad situation. I was gonna try to make it better. So I just found out, the detailed faults of my enemies. And it takes a shit ton of balls to forgive people. Forgiveness is a very good key because you don't know what they going through while they fucking with you. But all I'm saying is, it may be contradictory, but you think about it, self-preservation may be the only thing, only option. But forgiveness is an even better option. Self-preservation, forgiveness is what it is. But that's my little rant right there. That's my little take on it. All right, bye.